Star Wars. The struggle against an evil empire, schemed into existence by an egomaniacal freak with ambitions to escape death. This is a joke about Disney. While Disney is a relentless and disgusting pox upon the earth, sometimes I find myself down with the sickness. Sometimes Star Wars is fun. Is it in the new shows on Disney Plus? No! I'm not even gonna talk about the fucking sequels. There are more 5-hour analyses on the sequels being bad than Star Destroyers that Emperor Palpatine just fucking created out of thin air. I do, however, mourn the original extended universe because many of its creators swept away discussions about the quality of Star Wars with, fuck all that, I'm not making a Star Wars product that's good or bad. I'm making one that's absolutely insane. You would think that having a grounded and consistent universe between movies, games, books, etc. would be a good thing for the franchise, because it feels more realistic. But what that means is, for Luke Skywalker, you can't have little stories where he just fucks off to have all kinds of weird adventures and various spin-offs and books as easily, if you're focused on consistency. And that's what Disney wants, for better or for worse. Mostly for worse. The original extended universe, in contrast, was always just fucking crazy. But it's a fun crazy. People have forgotten that fact because of the deluge of new Star Wars content drowning all of it out. The tonal disparity between Disney Star Wars and non-Disney extended universe might be surprising if you weren't already aware of it. Disney Star Wars is always dramatic, sometimes verging on dour, but mostly very safe. The extended universe had fucking Trioculus. You haven't heard of Trioculus? He's only the mutant heir to the Emperor, born of a virgin. Evil Jesus with 20/20/20 vision, as we say. Oh, you don't know? Well, what the fuck? Why haven't you been reading your theory? According to Wikipedia, he was born with 3 eyes. What seemed like a disability for the child could have been a blessing. Why is that a disability? That he has 3 working eyes in Star Wars? Have you seen Yariel Poof? Eventually, Trioculus graduated from Darkside Elementary School and became friends with Grand Moff Hissa, who looks like this. When's this guy getting a cameo in The Mandalorian? One of his opponents was Grand Admiral Joseph Grunger. Yeah, and then he gets burned in an explosion and finally gets killed in a fake wedding ceremony with droid Princess Leia, shown here in this just incredible comic panel. Just really good job. There's so much going on in this image. He's just this borderline ridiculous figure from a book that is deliberately framed more like a children's fantasy novel than something from a massive multimedia franchise. But isn't that just kind of great, really? Like, this is the same universe where writers have meditated on what good and evil even means. And somewhere in all of that is this fucking weird biography about this guy with 3 eyes, whose name is Latin for 3 eyes. That kind of silliness is straight up missing from the sequels, and it shows. Even when they try to do something a little wacky funny, it doesn't really work. It just comes off kind of forced.
They fly now! They fly now! They fly now!
Here's another example of something weird and kind of funny from the Star Wars extended universe. What if Luke Skywalker wanted to make you Luke cry? Walker. What if Luke was evil? So evil, his name was spelled weird. Well, you're in luck. Cause here's Luke Skywalker with 2 U's. He's the evil clone of Luke Skywalker. And that's how you can tell, because they put another U in his name. Luke was cloned from Luke Skywalker's hand after getting it cut off by dear old Pappy. Luke then fought Luke Skywalker's wife, Mara Jade, and was then killed. Now, that entire thing is weird, it's arcane, it makes various degrees of sense, even if you did spend too much of your childhood reading facts about Star Wars lore, but it is unique. It's got that Star Wars flair of arbitrary shit that just happens to work because it has little details that manage to get brought together into a strange and interesting vision. Just like the original trilogy did in 1970, whatever the fuck. It's different enough from other shit that it's memorable. New Star Wars isn't trying to be something new and imaginative. It's trying to be more fucking Star Wars. It's fuck because it no longer has that vision of making something unique. There's an undeniable feeling of something just not being quite right looking at new Star Wars that's hard to put a finger on. I'm far from the first person to say this, but Star Wars just doesn't feel special anymore. And I mean the reason why is largely due to the structure of Disney. Disney is the epitome of design by committee. When you let your writers wild out a little bit, you have to accept they might make some stuff that's a bit more niche. That's what makes it good. That's why Disney had to spend however billion fucking dollars to buy Star Wars. There were millions of loyal fans who just, watched the original movies, but more likely than that saw something Star Wars related that just kind of hit right, because Star Wars up to that point had been operating on a model of just kind of letting people do weird shit. That's what built up the fan base that gave the franchise value in the first place. And that's what propelled Disney to buy it and then fucked it up. When your business model is focused on big tentpole productions that are each designed to cast as wide a net as possible and minimize disinterest by excluding as few people as possible, the paradox is that less people will care about your shit. They sure do care for now. I mean, Disney Plus has a lot of subscribers, but it's almost like Star Wars has been building this fan base for decades, and Disney sees them less as a sustainably grown forest of trees that has to be maintained, and instead as a resource that has to be harvested as soon as possible, clear-cutting it. No, we're not. No, fuck off. No, fuck off. And you see that with all the spin-offs. Of course they're gonna make an Obi-Wan show, but what's new in there? It's literally between movies. You can't do too much shit. Make new shit. Go in like a weird direction. The Star Wars Expanded Universe did that shit constantly, and the new Disney doesn't do fucking any of that. It's just stuff that we already know. It's just characters we're already aware of. Ah, my god. The old Expanded Universe is so goofy. I love it. It's creative. It's bizarre. It's fucking interesting. Shit, I mean, over the course of making this video, I've had more fun reading this shit on Wikipedia than I did watching anything in the sequel trilogy, and it's not close. Would this appeal to mainstream audiences? I mean, I guess that depends on what your definition of mainstream is. Will everything appeal to everyone in the mainstream all at once? No. Will it make money? Yeah, it fucking did. Again, Disney spent billions getting Star Wars. They wouldn't if it wasn't worth that much.
I sold them to the white slavers that take these things and...
Alright, man. And I would say we should bring it back, but there's no fucking way that's ever gonna happen. Disney's profit model is fundamentally at odds with the concept of creativity. Trioculus is dead, and what's personally frustrating is that Disney has begun to put in a bunch of old extended universe stuff in their modern products. It's more than a bit telling that one of the few consistent ways for Disney to provoke fan engagement is to bring back things from when Star Wars was still fun. Let's compare the plot of The Rise of Skywalker with what probably would have been the big new threat in a hypothetical Star Wars Expanded Universe trilogy. So, the Yuuzhan Vong were a species of Anprim aliens from outside the Star Wars galaxy. They ended up killing 300 trillion people through this just huge war that spanned like several books and just all kinds of shit. Wait, hold up. If they hated technology, how did they get in from outside the galaxy? That doesn't make any sense. Oh,
it's so unbelievably ignorant to say that the Vong find all technology blasphemous, okay? It's simply that they have their own conception of technology. They use organic technology instead of mechanical-based technology, alright?
Okay,
all of their ships are made out of yorick coral.
The Yuuzhan Vong invasion arc was essentially the big bad that happened after Palpatine exploded. In Rise of Skywalker, the big bad after Palpatine exploded was Palpatine, who explodes again. The old extended universe had a bunch of different stories loosely connected under the same general franchise, and that allowed authors to make Star Wars content that was truly unique and didn't just feel like the same thing over and fucking over again. Every new Disney Star Wars product doesn't feel like its own story, it feels like episode 9.5. And now, here's a bunch of shit I saw while clicking random article on Wikipedia. Did you know that Rog was a Gamorrean male who was married to Gundruk? A spleen was an organ that several organisms possessed, including humans and Dianogas. Eric Erickson was a male Mandalorian residing on Corellia. He was killed. This article also available in Turkish. Football was a ball sport. Another example is Moops Ball. I don't know how to end the video.